welcome to this copy checking of an essay. So, I have an essay copy of one of the students who has submitted in the All India Essay Competition, and this is just a sample of showing like how your copies are being checked by me. Okay, I'll try to give you any valuable input from my side, and I'll also point out what all mistakes I can find. So, first of all, in essay there are two kinds of mistakes basically. Okay, mistakes. First is grammatical mistake, or basically that is an English language mistake. Okay, such as this missing of an a, or using improper verb or anything. And second is structuring mistake. Okay, now the first kind of mistake, that is something that you have to learn on your own, because grammar and these things cannot be taught now at this level, right? But you can learn that after practice, and after being pointed out, okay, here you are wrong, so you learn that and improve in the next essay. But this structuring mistake, this is something that many students do, and like many people who are good in language, they can also do this structuring mistake. So basically our focus will be on this one. Okay, now moving ahead, I have already written some brief things about this copy because I didn't want the video to be very long. uh, so that is why these things will help in keeping it short. Wantlessness is a state of mind when person doesn't crave for the material things he is contained and satisfied with a happy mind. This of course does not mean that he is indifferent to the growth and pleasures. On the other hand, materialism means craving for things that are mortal, craving for luxury, wishing to buy every new model of smartphone, wishing to get costly and new clothes, wishing. No, here is a mistake. Like you have written a full stop and then you are starting a new sentence, but you are in a way continuing it. So, like, this is not right. Wishing to maximize profit without caring for spiritual well being. Okay. So you have started with intro. Okay, so it is a decent intro, but it is not as impactful as it could have been if it was a story or an anecdote or a comparison or something. Okay, but it is not a bad intro as well. Like it is a decent enough intro, but you can do better. Wantlessness is also encompassed. Now this is again a English mistake. Okay, whereas materialism included or includes greed and envy. Okay. If it is included, then it is wrong. If it is includes, it's right. Since ancient times, there have been quests by humanity in both dimensions, easing the life by scientific and industrial development and enriching the life by spiritual development. Lord Buddha, destined king, left all life of luxury and went out to understand what is the true life. He was saddened by seeing the sight of old injured man and dead body. After enlightenment under banyan tree, he understood that the mortal physical body and luxuries are really enemies of human spiritual growth. People fought for power, killed their own family members for crown. The power was not only illusionary but evil also. Here you have given example of Pandavas and Duryodhana. His greed and lust for power ensured his end. Okay, so let's see for a second what you have written. You have given the definitions. You have written this small paragraph about what wantlessness and materialism encompasses, and then you are now writing examples. So, Lord Buddha, this is an example of how materialism is futile and basically how wantlessness is good. And again here you have written about the bad aspects of materialism, Duryodhana and Pandavas. And now you are shifting to, is it too difficult to follow wantlessness? Okay, so like I think that this question arises from the word utopia that is mentioned in this topic, but you have not yet discussed wantlessness. You have just defined wantlessness, but you are yet to analyze wantlessness, like what it means, uh, why is it ideal, what are the benefits of wantlessness. Okay, it seems not at all when we look at the example of Karna. Okay, he gave all his breastplate, armor, and kundal given by the god's son to Indra when he appeared as a beggar to seek alms from Karna. Karna adhered to values of generosity and kindness. In today's world, we may not find this type of wantlessness. So here you are starting that it is not difficult to follow wantlessness, and here you are saying that in today's world it is difficult to find this type of wantlessness. And again, I will point out that here you are mentioning about the wantlessness of Karna, but you are not actually writing if wantlessness is too difficult to follow. Okay, you have just like basically derived your conclusion from this example of Karna. Rather, you should write why it is difficult to follow wantlessness. What happens if we follow wantlessness? Okay, things like that. They are basically your analytical point. These are just examples. Okay. In ancient times, the emperor, such as Alexander the Great, was driven by the wish of ruling over the world. At the end, when he died, he took nothing with him except curses and ill wishes of people whom he attacked. Okay, here again is an example about the futility of materialism. As the human society progressed, there was increased appetite for materialistic things, boosted pleasure, seeking nature of society. Weaker workers and peasants were exploited, their human rights were again giving an evidence of how materialism impacts badly on the society. Capitalist class became exploitative. Capitalism is the astounding belief that the most wickedest will do the most wickedest things. Communism was also not different and became authoritative and totalitarian. Under few leaders such as Lenin, people find now this section again here is not very relevant to the topic. Okay, the topic is not a comparison of capitalism and communism. I can see that you have tried to view capitalism from a materialistic side, and in communism also you have said that it becomes authoritative. But like, what you have to see in your essay is that until now you have only defined the two, that too for a like 3 to 4 sentences, very basic definition, and after that you are just giving examples about how materialism is bad, then there was one example of Karna about how he was very wantless, but there is no analysis until this part. Aristotle brought new dimension, the golden mean. For him, excessive property is evil, and completely abandoning whatever required is also not good idea. Going for complete materialism and complete wantlessness are two extremities. Balancing between the two, amassing wealth by corruption and illegal ways is evil. Okay, now still here, it was talking about golden mean, how the middle path is very good and how it should be chosen. Now here again you are writing amassing wealth by corruption and illegal ways is evil. Okay, like here you are again criticizing materialism, whereas in these two paragraph, more or less, you are saying that okay, we should go for the golden mean. So this looks a bit incoherent. Human beings completely cannot become wantless and withdraw from enjoying the God's creations on earth. Nature provides us with many benefits. Enjoying this within limits is important for the survival of human race. Okay, here you are writing about the like how complete wantlessness is not achievable. This is actually some analytical part. Okay, some analysis. Sustainable development is solution. Okay, or you have already said golden mean is the solution, sustainable development is the solution. Recently a report by, okay, now here you're talking about inequality, like how inequality is the reason that gives rise to extremism, nationalism and terrorism. Then you're writing about trusteeship model, so you're basically writing solutions for the wantlessness and materialism. First was golden mean, second was sustainable development, and third is your trusteeship model, right? But you are not able to, like, first of all you didn't uh, write an analytical part on the wantlessness and materialism, and now you are switching to the analytical part about the solution, like what should be the way forward. And in way forward you are writing these three things, and that too in quite detail. So this was the main part of your essay. Okay, this is an auxiliary part, right? Like what they have asked is this, we write this is also important, but it is an addition to the main part. Now you have not addressed the main part sufficiently, and you are writing about the way forward, and that too, like, you are just mentioning these three methods which are not quite interlinked with each other. They're also like three different points basically. When Marie Curie won Nobel for her discovery of radium, journalists reached her house. Here she made a patent open to all humanity. She was guided by larger human interest that radium could cure cancer, and it was very much demanded for treatment. Okay. Bhudan movement by Vinoba Bhave, perfect application of golden mean between wantlessness and materialism. One could donate whatever excess land he had. This is a very good example, but again, you are just giving examples on examples. I hope you are getting this, like what I'm trying to say. Our society is becoming more and more unequal. Gulf is widening. Large share of resources are occupied by few individuals. People are becoming indifferent to the pain of others. When we see the destitute and vulnerables, we should feel pain, but we are become, here some English mistake, so indifferent that we even didn't notice the evils in society. Everyone should try to bridge the gap between the haves and have-nots. People are wasting their money in momentary gains. Of course, there are positive examples such as Bill Gates, who through his foundation doing charity. Craving for goods and comfort is a mirage. Okay, now you are shifting to how materialism is bad. Like craving for goods and comfort is mirage. During recent COVID pandemic, old librarian donated 30 crores for welfare. He had donated his savings, which was hard earned. But you here you're giving the example about wantlessness. Okay, he was seeking pleasure and satisfaction of helping. All right. How can golden mean between wantlessness and materialism be established? Being ethical and moral is a way out. If everyone behaves rationally and honestly, everyone will get the opportunity to develop oneself. If politicians and bureaucrats act as public servants and not as elites, the equilibrium can be established. Okay, the onus has been shifted onto politicians and bureaucrats. Individual level also, you have talked that we should step up, and you have given the example about Baba Amte. Good. Ranjit Singh Disale, the person who won International Teacher Award, and I think it was 9 crore, but okay. He showed us light. There should be redistribution. One should not only, one should keep what is necessary and not what one wants. Now you have ended. This is a very abrupt ending, I'll say. Like you have just given an example, one line about the same example, and you have ended. Rather, you could have ended, like you should write some more before ending. Now I will give you like what you have written. You have given the definition of wantlessness and materialism. You have given examples. Is wantlessness too difficult? Then about Karna. Then you have given again some examples: Alexander's Industrial Revolution, capitalism, communism, Aristotle's golden mean. After this, and then inequality, why materialism is bad. Then some solutions, trusteeship. Then some good examples: Marie Curie, sustainable development. Then how a balance can be achieved. In that you have given few examples, and then Baba Ante and Ranjit Singh Disale. I'll say like the good point about your essay is that your examples are very good. You have a good collection of examples, but you have not structured them carefully and you have missed the analytical part. Okay, rather your structure could have been something like this: definition of wantlessness and materialism. Uh, then you could have given the Karnas and Mahabharat's Duryodhan and example about materialism, Karna's in wantlessness, and Mahabharata's in Duryodhan example in materialism. Like below the definition only. You don't need to write first definition and then examples. First write wantlessness, then give the wantlessness example, then write materialism, give the materialism example. Then write why wantlessness is ideal. Okay, there you give some reasons like it promotes inclusivity, it brings social justice, it is environmentally sustainable, and there you give examples over there only. In the social justice, you can write about Marie Curie or Vinoba Bhave. In inclusivity, you can write about Baba Amte. Why wantlessness is difficult to achieve, that section, while or maybe why it is a utopia. In that you can write the basic nature of human being, necessity for survival, development and progress stimulated by desire. So these are some reasons that you have missed. You have given examples, but you have missed these reasons. Why materialism is a chimera? There also you write like it brings inequality and cutthroat competition. Uh, there you can give as a reason like how materialism leading to inequality leads to Naxalism and terrorism. Then you write that examples about Alexander and others. Then in like after writing these points for around 5 to 6 to 7 pages or maybe 5 to 6 pages, then you write from the seventh page about what is the way forward, and there you write golden mean, and then how can we achieve it. Okay, you don't need to write golden mean and sustainable development and trusteeship model. Write any two. I think golden mean and sustainable development should do, and go for how we can achieve it. And finally in the end, like you just conclude it by saying that like the same thing that the topic is saying, that wantlessness is very good, beneficial, but its exercise is not possible. Rather, a balance must be created. And then you give the Tagore's essay, Tagore's poem of like, oh Lord, let my country awake. There is something like this, a poem. Okay, so this is how you can conclude. You have to prepare few poems, one of Tagore, one of Shri Abdul Kalam. So the like any such broad positive poem that can be written in the end, and it perfectly fits the topic. Okay, thank you.